Hello. Today we're going to talk about the FAFSA and why it is important to complete it and how to begin the process. The top 5 reasons why you should complete a 2021-2022 FAFSA. First, Kettering University uses this form to determine financial aid eligibility from all sources. This includes the federal government, the state of Michigan, and Kettering itself. And it is used for all types of financial aid, including grants, need-based scholarships, federal loans, and federal work study. Number 2, if you're a Michigan resident, you might be eligible for a state award. You must file your FAFSA by March 1st, 2021 to be considered. The state of Michigan offers a Michigan Competitive Scholarship or a Michigan Tuition Grant, and the only application they require is the FAFSA. Number 3, the FAFSA form is required if you plan on using federal student loans, and this includes the Parent Plus loan. Number 4, family situations can change during the school year. If something happens in your family, we may be able to amend your current information, which may allow you to gain additional financial aid eligibility. By having a FAFSA on file already, you won't have to take this first step if something were to come up. Number 5, applying is free, and many students are surprised when they find out what type of financial aid they're actually eligible to receive. So we highly recommend all students, especially this first year, fill out the FAFSA just to make sure that you're not missing out on any type of funding opportunity. You will want to create a FSA ID before beginning your FAFSA. You will want to visit fsa.ed.gov. You're going to create your own username and password. You'll be asked the following questions: your date of birth, social security number, email address, phone number, and your mailing address. You'll also be asked to create a list of challenge questions. By completing the FSA ID process, you will be able to use the same ID for all subsequent years. Your parent will also need to create their own FSA ID. If they already created one for themselves for an older sibling who is or was in college, your parent can continue to use that same FSA ID. They're able to use their own FSA ID for all of their children. Before you begin the FAFSA process, make sure you gather the following documents: your social security card, your driver's license, your W-2 forms or any other records of money you may have earned in 2019, your 2019 federal income tax return if you filed one, your parents' 2019 federal tax return, your parents' 2019 W-2 forms from all employers, your and your parents' 2019 untaxed income records, your and your parents' current bank statements, and also any business records or other investment records either one of you might have. Now that you have your FSA IDs and all of your documents collected, you want to go to fafsa.ed.gov to get started on completing your form. Make sure that you don't go to fafsa.com accidentally. It's fafsa.ed.gov. What you'll want to do here is select the button under New to the FAFSA process. After you have submitted your FAFSA the first time, you'll be able to log in as a returning user to view your FAFSA results, or next year when you complete your next year's FAFSA. So for today, you want to start here. You're going to log into the FAFSA by selecting I am the student and then clicking Next. This is where you will enter your FSA ID and the password you created. Then click Next. You will see that you will be welcomed and your name should be at the top. And you're going to be asked, which FAFSA form do you want to complete? Because you're going to be an entering student in 21-22, make sure you select Start 2021-2022 FAFSA and just click right on that button. Next, you're going to be asked to create a save key. This is in case you need to stop halfway through your FAFSA and come back to it at a later time. That way you won't have to re-enter all the information you put in to that point. What I usually do is just enter in something very simple, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you re-enter the save key again, and then click Next. If you want more detailed information on any of these topics, you can click on any of these and it will give you some very specific information. If you'd rather continue just keep going forward towards your FAFSA, just click Next. Because you signed in with your FSA ID, some of this information is going to already be populated. So you should see your Social Security number, your name, and your date of birth. Just verify that it all looks correct and then click Next. Next, they're going to ask some information regarding your school. One of the important things on this section is the federal school code for the universities that you're applying to. If you know the school code, you will be able to say yes and you'll be able to enter it. Kettering school code is 002262. If you want to enter a school that you don't know the code, you can just find the school here under school name, and they will pop up a selection of schools for you to choose from. You're able to enter up to 10 different colleges on your FAFSA form. The next series of questions will be regarding your dependency. This is how the government determines whether or not your parents' information needs to be included on the FAFSA. This is just a sample of questions you will be asked, and if your answer is no to all of them, you will check none of the above and click Next. The next series of questions will be regarding your parents. Household size. This will already be pre-populated. So you indicated you live with both your parents, so it will automatically populate this with 2. It also includes you automatically. What you'll want to enter next is any siblings that you may have that your parents still support. It will add up the number of people in your parents' household here, and then you're able to put how many people in this household number will be in college during the 21-22 school year. You'll want to include yourself and anyone else who may be in college during that time, but do not include your parents. The next set of questions pertain to their tax information. So they will ask if your parents have completed their IRS income tax return. Hopefully, most people have their 2019 taxes done and you'll be able to say they've already completed it. It will ask what type of tax return was filed, and then what their filing status was as well. And these will all be drop-down menus for you to select from. Next, you will be given the option to link to the IRS and pull in your parents' income information directly from their tax return. If you would rather not use the IRS data retrieval tool listed here, then you can hand enter the information from the tax return that you may have gathered before you sat down. We highly recommend, if you're able to, link to the IRS and have that information pulled directly into your FAFSA. That helps avoid any potential mistakes. And also, if you're selected for a process called verification, we may not have to collect your parents' tax return. We'll be able to use the information directly from the IRS that was pulled in. If you decide to hand enter this information, you will be able to put this on your form directly from their IRS form, and it will tell you exactly what line item to pull the number from. Make sure that you're not putting any cents in and that you're not transposing numbers. I skipped this screen, but it would be very similar to the parents' financials. They'll ask also your information regarding your income from 2019. So follow the same instructions. When you're finally done, you will come to the Sign and Submit tab. It's going to tell you that they need a signature from you and from your parent. It shows right now that this FAFSA is unsigned by both. And what you'll want to do is click Provide Student Signature. The next step will be to sign this FAFSA. And once you click on there, because you signed in with your FSA ID, it will automatically sign it electronically for you, which you can see here. The next step will be to sign with your parent's FSA ID, and you will click on Provide Parent Signature and follow the same instructions. This is where your parents will enter their FSA ID and their password. Because you logged in with your information, theirs wasn't automatically provided, so they'll be asked to type in theirs at this point. And then they can click Sign this FAFSA. You're done. Congratulations. It will tell you that your FAFSA was successfully submitted to federal student aid. It will give you a confirmation number, and they'll let you know what you should expect to happen in the next few days. If you want to print this page, you can for confirmation, but you should also receive an email confirmation as well. If you have any questions or need assistance with the financial aid process, please feel free to contact our office at 810-762-7859, or you can email us at finaid@kettering.edu. Thank you.